313. This is Tuesday. Today, when you watch this class time, will be Tuesday, October 10th. Okay, that's when we're doing this. And I'm going to just walk you through how to fill out this handout and kind of get some type of think time, etc., to think about what's going on. Mrs. Tanis had a family emergency. Her dad passed away on Monday afternoon, early morning, afternoonish, and so that's why she's not here. She'll be gone for a little while. I'm sure she'd want you to know, but she's not really ready to talk about it right now, obviously. So just so you are aware of what's happening now. Okay, so here we go. We're going to use this. We're going to start by graphing this equation. And apparently I wanted to take a picture of that. Start by graphing this equation. We have a y-intercept of -4 and a slope of 3/5. So I'm going to go up 3 squares and to the right 5. And then if I go up 3 and to the right 5, I don't have enough room. So I'm going to go back to the beginning and go down 3 and right left 5. So there's my other dot. Okay. And so those 3 dots form my line. And there is my graph. And I did a better job with that. Okay. So then we're going to use some tracing paper to move it up 5 units. My tracing paper ready to go. And so tracing paper. Put it on here. There's my y-intercept. I put it on the shiny side. Okay. So there's that. These pens do not really have paper. So I've traced the line here onto the patty paper. So I'm going to shift it up 5 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So my new y-intercept is here at, no, that's only 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My new y-intercept is here at +1. And my slope is still this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there, that dot. And then this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that dot. There's my new line. Okay. So then it says write an equation. So new y equals, my y-intercept is 1, so +1, and my slope is 3 over 5. So now you can use point slope form to write this equation if you prefer, but this one's a little bit easier. Now let's talk about the relationship. We're actually going to come back. So describe the relationship between this one and its image. So what's the relationship between the 2 lines I drew? So again, we had our original line here. Oh, well, look at that. That's a lot of movement. Original. There's our new one. What's the relationship between the 2? Never meet. So what does that mean? And how do their slopes compare? Their slopes are the same. So if you recall, 2 lines that never cross or intersect each other have a special name, and that name is parallel. And if you look here, what's the relationship parallel and perpendicular lines? So that's the parallel part. All right, let's take our same line. So I'm going to redraw it, the same green line that we had before. Y-intercept -4, slope 5. I'm doing that much faster than we did it when we did the other. And there's my pretty graph. that's the original. Okay. And so I need to they want me to take my original line and rotate it. Oh, that's what happened. I didn't put that in the right place. Rotate it around the origin. So I'm going to spin around the origin 90 degrees clockwise. So I'm going to move this way 90 degrees and then plot my new graph. So you'll notice the x-intercept is -4. And then it looks like my slope, 5 and 3, is going to be up 5 and left 3. Making it down 5 and left 3, and put that up here. Down 5 and right 3. And so there's our new line. Okay. So what I noticed is my y-intercept, if we kind of zoom into that, my y-intercept is not a clean, nice point. X-intercept is nice and clean, but my y-intercept is not. So I am going to use point slope to write b. Y equals m. What's that? So looking at the picture, my new slope, I've got 5 and 3. 5 is down and 3 is right. So 5, 3, so it's going to be negative. Parentheses, x minus, now I'm going to pick a point to use for this. Let's pick, we can either pick the y-intercept, this one. My point is going to be -7, comma, 5. And so 7 goes in here, and the 5 goes out here. The symbol inside, since it's minus a negative, this is plus, and this is also plus. So there's our equation in point slope form instead of slope intercept, because my y-intercept is not this clean. So, zoom back. Let's describe the relationship. So the other word in our instructions, in our title, we did parallel already, and then perpendicular. I'm going to go ahead and write that very big word down. This word means meet at a right angle. That's the symbol, by the way. Just wrote it down without saying. So they meet at a right angle. Okay. Their slopes are related but not the same. The original slope for the original line, which I'm going to do in green, our original slope is 3/5. My new slope, which I'll do in purple, is -5/3. And so these two slopes, you'll notice they have the same number. And the fraction's kind of been stood on its head. So we call this, maybe you remember that word from elementary, where the fraction is flipped over. Okay, so it's reciprocal, and they have different signs. We have the reciprocal part, if you flipped it over, and one is positive and one is negative. Which means they have different signs. So we flip it over and we change the sign, and that's part of what it's. And it makes sense for it to be perpendicular and forming a right angle, since we turn it 90 degrees, and a right angle means that these two are both 90 degrees. So I'm just going to show you that really quickly. Call this the post-it note test. If I stick a post-it note, it has a right angle, obviously. If I stick a post-it note in there, if my grid was square, which I think this one's off a little bit, but it does make it. Okay. Again, I think either my line's crooked or the grid's off. So that's the first part. And you'll notice I basically told you everything to do as we went through the whole. I'm going to turn it over and do the stuff on the inside. And this time I'm going to do a little less. So it doesn't mean we're not doing it. We are, but I'm going to do a little less. So how do we do these kinds of things now? And I'm going to go ahead and fold my paper so that my notebook would be like ta-da. Now, okay, not perfect. That's like write the equation of the line that goes through this point and is perpendicular. Okay, first thing we're going to do is draw. So go ahead and try. And pause the video for a minute, and then you try. Okay, so you should have paused your video. This is the line. Y-intercept of -2. And then drawing it so somebody see those. Okay. So we're going to go back here, and there's two ways we can do it. One, we can use the fact that this point and these points. But let's see if we can use honey paper to help us. So we know we have to go through point 0, negative point. So kind of interesting. All right. Anyway, there's my line. Not very carefully drawn. There's my point. And I needed to go through this point. And now it's not going to when I rotate it, but I can then translate it so it does a little. Or I can, instead of using the point, I can turn it some other way. At 90 degrees and translate it and then shift it up. And that's not 90 degrees. Just straighten it. Right. So what I did, let me explain again, is I put the line here and I turned it 90 until I lined up, and then I moved it. Okay, so that's how I can use the patty paper to help me. There's where the point's going to be. And then 2 and 5 here. That's 5. And 2 and 5. My new line. Y equals our slope. We want it to be perpendicular. So we just discovered about slopes that are perpendicular is that they have different signs. And then what's the problem? So our slope was negative. Our new slope will then be positive, and we flip the fraction over. And I can use point slope form or slope intercept form. Both of those are fine. Okay, do they appear to be perpendicular? I think so. How can we tell? This is what, again, what I call the post-it note test. Take post-it note, I put them there and see. Are they going to open up? This time I did a better job, and so yeah, they're going to be good. That's how I can tell. Use it. Okay. You want the same exact starting equation. 2 and 5. 2 and 5. Exact starting equation. And then what? and passes through that the same passing through point. This time though, instead of rotating my line, I'm just going to shift it until it goes through. So I shifted it. I'm shifting every point, so 6, and then if I shift it down, this point needs to go down at 4, 6, 8, 9, 8. And so my equation, same slope, set, let me double check, same slope, new y-intercept of negative. Again, you can use point form, do it like this. Do they appear parallel? Yeah. Same. Parallel lines have the same slope. All right. How you feeling? Complicated? Making sense, I hope. Again, not the greatest teaching, but the best we can do for the situation. I don't want this video to be graph each of the lines below on the same set of axes, but the relationship between them. And so as you graph them, label them A, B, C. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to pause the video, and you can do that when you come. You need to pause the video. Come back. So here are the lines I drew. You have A, 1/3 plus 4, right there. B, -3 over 4, with a y-intercept of 4, that's 1 line. And then C is the green line, -3 minus 2. And so what is the relationship between lines A and B? So the blue one and the purple one, what is their relationship between these two? And they cross, so one of the things we can say is they intersect. But they are also perpendicular, that is a right angle. Right? So they're perpendicular. Okay. What is the relationship between C and B? These two never intersect. And so talking about some of the things we know. Perpendicular lines, by the way, line A and C are also perpendicular because A is perpendicular to B and C. You'll notice the slope here is 1/3, and if I take 1/3 and flip it over, I get 3 over 1. Then I change the sign, and that's equal to -3. So that's what we have. Slope and our and that's what we know. We also can see that these two have the same slope, and that is y. Okay. Question 69. Is the way we're going to ask you about this on the test. and the quiz as we go through some of the stuff here. So I want you to go ahead and start by just graphing the line and see how far you can get. Pause the video, do all the work. The answer will be here when you're ready for it. Thanks for your work today. Okay, we have the equation of the line. It's the green one is the first one I did. So green arrow there. Then I translated it up 4 units and right 3 units. So up 4, right 3, and it was the same. I was just landing on the line again. This is the same line, same equation. Then I translated the line down 5 units. So this point became that point, and that point became that point, that became that point. This point's off the graph. And so my new y-intercept is -7. And so there's my new line. You can use point slope form to write this if you prefer. Just kind of your call. Then it asked me to talk about these. Green and purple line, I kind of justified as I was explaining to you. Green and blue are parallel. I didn't justify that yet. They're parallel because they have the same slope. And I guess I could justify over here same equation. And then down here, you want me to write the equation of the line that's perpendicular to those, but goes to this point. So there's my perpendicular slope. Notice I took the slope 4/3, flipped it over and put 3/4, and then I changed the sign to make it negative. And then I wrote the equation using point form, quote, point x there, x there. And there's the equation. And that's all there is to it. I hope that this was helpful for you, and I will be making some more videos. Talk to you later.